And gosh, I was so fired up. I mean, we had the exact look we wanted, and to be honest, I was kind of surprised that that play was called that early. I was expecting maybe a play action or something, but when Brian called it and we got the look that we wanted, I was just so fired up to be able to hit that, and Seth made a great play on it.
How's the leg?
It's getting better. I knew I wasn't going to be 100% going into this game. There's a couple of awkward positions I was put in today, but to be honest, I think the O-line really kept me protected today. They did a really good job of, a lot of those plays, I was getting into my second hitch, and there's still no one within 3 yards of me. So it's getting better. We'll take a look at it tomorrow, and I'm just going to do everything I can to just continue to get healthy.
There was one play in particular in the third quarter where you're scrambling, you make a little bit of a move, and then after you get rid of the ball, you're pretty noticeably working on that quad. Was that like something in particular that was troublesome for you, or something that you just realized was part of the healing process?
That was just kind of like a difficult move. Spin moving with a guy on you is just, when you're not at 100%, that's still like a tough move to do. So, I'm just gonna try and just keep getting better. There are times that I'm gonna be put in a position on the field that I'm gonna have to work a little harder, put my body in certain positions. So, that's just kind of a part of the healing process. That when you have a soft tissue injury, it's just I got to battle through these things, and the doctors and the trainers feel that it's still safe for me to play. I'm gonna do everything I can to just continue to play.
It was like throwing a touchdown pass to Eric All again.
It was, the same thing. The amount of joy that we both had when that happened, it was kind of a lot different than we practice it. Usually we practice it, and he got caught up at the line a little bit. They were bringing, a lot of pressures today, so he was able to, clear out there for me, and all I had to do was just put an easy ball on him.
What about just yourself? It's been a long time since you've been in a game, and last season didn't play too much, obviously, so just being back out there, what did it feel like, in front of a lot of fans, and how you responded?
We have just the best fan base. I was just so excited. I was feeling it when, even in pregame, when, the student section is already full, and, we're, bouncing around, we're getting fired up, and we're just warming up. And, I think it was a really special moment for me to be able to swarm out with my teammates for the first time. The longer I'm here, the more I understand how special that is for this program, and today's definitely going to be a day that I'll never forget.
Your first wave, what was that feeling like?
Same thing. These are just like a combination of just unbelievable experiences, and for, I think it's the best tradition in all of college football. So for me to just be a small part of that, and for me to experience that, it was just an unbelievable moment.
Overall, how do you think the offense played today?
Overall, I think we left a lot out there, to be honest. I think, there's a lot of guys on this team that, feel that we left something out there. Just playing the game, we started off really hot, and then we had a pretty long stall. So, this is still like the first time that all of us are in a game situation. There's so many new guys on this team that this is our first game playing together. So I think for us to have a feel, to be honest, I'm kind of excited that we were able to see some adversity for the first time. I didn't want it to be, just a cakewalk, and for us to just, to see a bunch of success. Like, it's important for us as a new group that's trying to connect even more, in game situations, for us to have to deal with things like that. And I think, at the end of the day, we could feel that, we need a score on this drive. Like, the defense has been on the field for too long, and, for a guy like, Mason Richmond to, bring the guys up and get us motivated, and for a guy like Luke Lachey to come up with just a huge catch when this team needed it most. I think, we struggled a little bit, but I also think there was a lot of good that came out of that.
What was responsible for that stall?
What's that?
What was responsible for that stall? You mentioned the 2 drives and then kind of stalling out.
Honestly, just a lack of execution. I think, we were put in really good positions. I think, I need to do a lot better of, it was my first game in a while too, and I think, a lot of guys, it's kind of the same thing. I think, it's still our first game, and this is our first time being out there as a group, and Of course, there's going to be like little mistakes. I mean, the guys are excited. I mean, there's going to be false starts. Like that's stuff that we can clean up, and you know, we're not too worried about those things. But I think, you know, as I said, I think, you know, this is a really good experience for our team and our offense.
On the first two drives, I guess, what did you feel like went really well?
I mean, it was just a high level of execution. We were doing, every guy on the team was doing their job. And, you know, when all of us are, you know, when this offense is hitting on all cylinders, that's the product. So, you know, whether it was me or, you know, something that caused a stall a little bit, I mean, we just have to be better. And, you know, as I said, some adversity is really good for us.
What
How
challenges
valuable-
did they present to you guys in the run game? What were the challenges they presented?
You know, they were able to disguise coverage a lot, and I think for them to put an extra body in the box, I think, you know, there's a couple different fronts that, you know, as playing a new defense and a new team that you didn't really have much film on. I mean, we're watching film on like 4 different teams from where this coordinator has been. So, I mean, I feel like a first game's always kind of weird because you don't have actual tape on the team to watch. So, I mean, from a run game standpoint, I mean, they're mixing up some different fronts. I mean, they were even dropping out some guys that we weren't expecting, you know, for them to drop out. So I think just a combination of just really like kind of a lack of film and just, you know, it's our first experience seeing a team in person. You know, I think it's going to, you know, we just have to make some adjustments, and I think we did.
You guys
How
really
valuable-
leaned hard on your 2, 3, even 4 tight ends on certain plays, touchdown plays. What is it about the tight ends that this team has that can really help take this offense to a high level?
Yeah, I mean, that tight end group is extremely elite. We have some of the best players in the country, in my opinion. And, I mean, the more that we can have those guys involved, the better position this offense is going to be.
How valuable is it for you kind of 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks down the road to have this game experience when you haven't had that in a while?
Yeah, I mean, I think this is great for us. You know, the main objective is to get the win, and we did that. And I think now a lot of the guys are just really eager, even though, you know, we already won the game and, you know, a level of celebration has already begun. I think a lot of the guys are really eager to just go back and watch the film and get better.
2 more questions.
Cade, how important was it that fourth quarter drive after the 2 maybe stagnant quarters for you guys to really bounce back and show that resiliency and just kind of end on a high note for you, just getting back out there?
Yeah, I mean, that was the biggest drive of the game, and I think from an offensive standpoint, for us to be with our back against the wall a little bit, and for us to, you know, bring it all together, and we knew that we had to execute that drive, and I mean, it didn't come easy. There were conversions made on that drive. There were, you know, we had to break man covers. They were bringing the house on a couple plays, and, you know, we answered, and I think that showed a lot about what this offense is about and what we can do.
When you look at the next opponent, it's in-state rivalry. You've played in in-state rivalry games yourselves. Have you heard much about this one? Has there been any discussion off-season about what the next team is?
Yeah, I mean, there's been plenty of discussion that I've had with my teammates, you know, especially the guys that are from Iowa, and I know how much this game means to us.
All right.